Today, Precarious plays
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Wow, what is this fresh, new, exciting experience which we have never partaken of before?
I do not know what this fresh new experience is that we have never partaken of before. Hey, bud. Yes.
The swamp. That sounds like an interesting place. Much better than the smelly town.
Yes, it sure does.
Hypothetically, if this weren't a completely new experience that we had never partaken of before, what would have been a cause of such a thing? What would cause us to repeat this content? I can't think of anything in the world.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I can think of one thing.
Maybe the world ended?
Well, no. Maybe my expectations were too. Something far more mundane, far more intimate, closer to home. Maybe my expectations were a touch high.
There we go.
Okay, facade done. Facade over.
Time to take it down.
Yeah. I had very specific expectations in town. There are things that I wanted to see done. Enough of them failed that we stopped that last recording session. And I said, you know what? We'll try again in a couple of weeks. After I've calmed down. After I've cooled down. And you can just go through the game much more normally. In a much more normal fashion.
It's like I'm playing a Zelda game, which I know and love. It's pretty great.
Okay. No reason to be a sore winner.
You're right, that was not cool.
I'd already admitted my faults. I took responsibility for, I think, more than my fair share of the negative feelings that were had.
Yeah.
I still maintain that I don't think that I really made it more stressful than it ought to be, just because there is a strict time limit over proceedings.
Yes. You know, well, here comes a something, but more on that in a minute.
We were talking through these a little bit, weren't we?
I think so. Tail and I drew this with the Skull Kid when we first met him. He told us that he had been fighting with his friends and that they had left him all alone.
Just I don't think they come up too often. Like the ones that are actually about the story. We can skip the ones that are sort of like tutorializing.
Yeah. Oh, it's raining. And there are two fairies that are best siblings.
I'm surprised that they can fly in the rain. You'd think that, like, all of the pollen would fall off of their wings. Or not all of the pollen, but the dust.
Yeah, the fairy dust.
Yeah, the fairy dust.
I think that they're just straight up magic. How does the fairy fountain work if you also get Tail and Tattle? Are they a different class of fairy?
Yeah, I think... Actually, I don't know. I think that a fairy could stick with someone and be like a companion, be a buddy. And I think that those, because they already see that you have a fairy companion, they just heal you and then peace out. I mean, like,
you mean Link doesn't just open the bottle and eat him?
Yeah, that's the easy fucking joke.
It is, but
it's like, oh, look, he just picks, like, at the very least, go to, like, the next most obvious one, which is slightly more adult, which is why it's probably not the first one that people go to, which is where there's some sort of sexual favor in play. That's another popular one that people like to...
Popular joke. Okay, so they give you a mooch on the forehead and go, be healthy, and then leave.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was because he was always playing tricks, so nobody wanted to play with him. So, he's a terrible prankster? Is that it?
He's a next level prankster. I think.
Yeah, it does kind of look like he knocked out a mask salesman and, like, out cold, not he's camping and asleep, because those legs were kicked up.
I like to imagine, just for the Skull Kid's benefit, that the mask has like a radius where it can influence people that are like sad or distressed.
Mm-hmm.
And after it caught his scent, it urged him to knock the mask salesman out and acquire the mask.
Now, I remember that back here, yes. Oh, dag nuts. I'm trying to be better at swordplay.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm getting owned right now, because I'm trying to do things constantly instead of just laying on the attack button.
So...
Because if I lock on and then press the...
I need to be responsible for this. Give me the controller.
Yeah.
Because you just nearly got obliterated.
Yeah. But there are jellies over there that you can...
The jellies still deal damage. And I'm going to lose my cool if we get a game over like that.
Yeah.
And I need to be in charge of that.
Okay.
If we lose, it's going to be my fault.
Oh, that's rather noble of you.
Well, I mean, in Hyrule Field, fucking before we've even gotten... See, I'm already going to the dark place again. Before we've even gotten to, like, the dungeon, you know?
Yeah, well...
Or, like, I'm sorry, the sub-overworld, the dungeon overworld. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I like to make my mistakes early while it's safe. You know?
That is certainly a way to view that.
Or just never make any
scenario.
mistakes ever.
I mean, maybe if you...
There's
I don't
another
know, like,
jelly, but we gotta go to the forest. Do you think...
Yeah, you'll still find hearts.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick it into...
Slow-mo.
Yeah, it's...
Yes, please. Dun, 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 dun.
We have the volume really low. I think that's the reverse Song of Time. That's not the real Song of Time. Yeah, that's the inverted one.
Yeah.
Okay. Slow the current flow of time.
Yes.
There.
There we go.
My hope was that every cycle was going to be a recording session and was going to be really neat and tidy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna... I think we would have to work to that, and it may never be the case.
As much as I admire neatness and tidiness, I am not that.
I don't...
I appreciate it. I'm not, like, one of those... Sorry. I feel bad for swearing in front of
Zelda.
I
mean, like,
Link.
no, you know that I meant the
I know,
game.
I know, but I was gonna say Link, and then I was gonna say Zelda, and then I overcorrected.
Okay. What's in that hole?
Are we in a hurry?
What if it's an adventure?
It's rupees.
Oh, never mind then.
It's gonna be rupees. Every place in this place is full of rupees.
That said, you are about to buy the mask. Right, not the mask, the map. Yeah.
Anyways, as much as I admire tidiness, I aspire to it more than I achieve it. Oh, fracks.
You can hit him with your whip, and it should take care of it. Yeah.
Hey, goodness.
Get really close. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, you say that all the time, and then I don't listen to you.
Right. And then you take 5 shots doing. I could have done it too.
There we go.
There you go. You did the thing.
He did the thing. But what I was going to say about how I play through stuff has fallen out of my brain, I guess.
Well, I have something to say about Tingle. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have mentioned it already, but I just want to point out that I think that there's often a disconnect between what you do in the overworld and what you do in dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how you can buy sections of the world map from Tingle because it brings them one step closer together. It creates a sort of uniformity in action.
Yeah.
Because one of the most useful things you can do in the overworld, or I'm sorry, in a dungeon, is find the map. So you have an impression of this explorable space.
Yeah.
And I like that is also present in the overworld here. I remember, I was talking about the fairies, the stray fairies before. Now you should hit up that hole. Because now you, even if it's like a big, like,
Where did it go?
to the left. If it's a big, like...
Pile of rupees, then it won't clog up my inventory.
Yeah, it won't max out the wallet. I remember, you can press a button to skip that. This one doesn't get big, it just gives you nuts.
Aren't these little bugs neat?
Yeah, I think they're especially neat because I'm pretty sure they're sprites. Like, could you give it another look?
Yeah. Once I intentionally and purposefully and skillfully dispatch these thingies. Ah, fuck. Be hearts. Yay, money! Next best thing to health.
Okay, so let me see the bugs. I don't know, maybe that... It's weird because it looks sort of sharp.
It does.
No, I think it is, it's a little model. Neat.
Well, what I was trying to say about how we were playing through this before... is that I was way more tense than I should have been. But that is because I was mythologizing this game to myself. Like, if I made any mistakes, I would not have ever a chance to fix it. I thought that every cycle something new emerged and you could only take care of it on that one cycle. So I thought that I was really ruining the game. Like, you know how...
No, you were just sort of... I think you were just sort of presenting it poorly. But, I mean, I should just cool my jets, because... It's something that I've noticed about The Legend of Zelda, where it draws out the kind of behavior that I normally frown upon on the internet.
Yeah.
I'll see people say, like, well, why didn't they get that right? And the answer is they just started playing. So I think, but the problem is that since I'm here, I was trying to guide you, and it just wasn't working.
That heart container.
You have to trade for land rights to that Deku flower.
Oh, okay. Well, that's doable.
But not today.
Yeah, today I gotta talk to... What is this? Oh, no, it's a person. It's just a shirtless person. I'm so sorry.
That is what we in the biz like to call a half Goron.
A half Goron?
Yeah.